I gotta rant to this. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I just had a conversation with Dean for about an hour and 5 minutes. You guys can go check the full out so you can get more context to the story. But right now, I believe I just ended this man's career.
Is Jesus metaphorically the begotten son of Allah, bro?
Biblical sense of servitude. Yes, that's fine.
Yes, no, Quranically.
Yes.
So yes,
yes,
canonically.
Quran, brother. What do you mean by begotten son of God when you say it? Tell
Wow,
me.
Quranically, Jesus is the begotten, metaphorically the begotten son of
the
Allah.
same way that David is the begotten son of God in the metaphorical way. Yeah.
He said some very damaging things about Islam in this conversation, and we are going to go over it. I asked him about the Quran saying Zechariah couldn't speak for 3 nights and the Bible saying Zechariah could not speak for the entire term of the pregnancy. And I wanted to know, how does he assume that that's a conscious edit? We go down this waffle fest. You guys can check that out on the full video. But we somehow get to him trying to explain how the Quran is more historical than the Bible. And he uses Q. And towards the end of the conversation, he literally commits shirk. I mean, we're gonna have to start calling this guy Shirk Responds after this.
There's the more miraculous case with Mary, with her birth, and I think John the Baptist's mother. I think maybe Hannah or something.
How does this prove that your narrative of 3 nights
is more
historical?
I'll get there. I'll get there because it's
it
more
seems
historical.
like you're gonna bring up you seem like you're gonna bring up passages other than
I'm not. I just want to establish
verse.
this point that he's more denigrated in the Gospel of Luke in this nativity narrative than in the Quran. The Quran actually gets us more right because look at this. In this academic source, Marcus T. Wald, a commentary on Q. Just let me finish. Brother, let me finish.
If you're gonna do
you
this,
really
bro,
need me to, brother. I'm gonna drop you so let me finish because you're breaking my flow. You're breaking my flow. Just stop
Dean,
interrupting.
the nativity has nothing to do. Oh my gosh, bro.
Don't break my flow.
Okay, at this point, I get dropped and he's trying to waffle. He's actually going off topic. He's talking about the nativity, which has nothing to do with Zechariah having a baby with Elizabeth and Muhammad saying Zechariah couldn't speak for 3 nights, and the Bible, Luke 1, saying that he couldn't speak for the entire term of the pregnancy. So I'm prompting him to stay on topic, but he wants to go off topic, derail, and go to Q. So when I get back on stage, this is what I ask him.
The earliest source of Jesus' sayings and of John the Baptist's life in Q, dated around 50 AD by scholars. John the Baptist isn't denigrated. The Quran's conception is there, showing that this is a proof for Islam now. Thank you. You just showed us that the Quran gets John the Baptist and Jesus better.
Okay. I got 2 questions. What is Q?
Q is the earliest gospel of the common material that's between Luke and Matthew. The majority of scholars agree today it exists.
Does it exist?
Yeah, majority of scholars agree it exists.
Physically, does it exist?
Does your conspiracy oral tradition physically exist?
I'm asking a very simple question, Dean. Physically, does Q exist?
Yeah, it exists within Matthew and Luke. Yeah, the common material.
So is it a hypothetical theory?
It's a hypothetical document posited out of necessity.
I didn't ask you that.
As said by John Kloppenberg.
I didn't ask you that. Do the scholars agree that it's a hypothetical theory?
It's a hypothetical theory that's needed for it to make sense between all the data of the Gospels. Yeah.
Okay, so Q is a hypothetical theory. Therefore, how could it exist physically?
That's needed. A hypothetical theory that's needed.
How could this hypothetical theory exist physically?
Because to best explain the data between Matthew and Luke, Q is posited. It makes the best sense of it.
Yes, because it's a hypothetical theory, which means that it's
that
created
is needed.
to justify.
Brother, can you say it's a hypothetical? It's a hypothetical theory that's needed according to these scholars.
No. It's a hypothetical theory, which means that it hasn't been proven to be true. That's why it's theoretical. Do you know what theoretical means?
Oh my God.
Do you know what something being theoretical? Dean, do you know what it means to be theoretical? Do we have to pull up the definition right now?
Yeah. Just because something is a theory, it doesn't mean that it isn't proven. For example, do you believe in gravity?
Brother, if it's a
you believe in gravity?
It's a hypothetical
do you believe in gravity?
Theory.
Gravity's a theory. You know that, right?
It's a hypothetical theory. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It's a hypothetical theory, right, Dean?
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it for the 3rd time.
Which means that the gospel
it's a hypothetical. You asked me a question.
Does not exist.
It's no. It's hypothetical, posited out of necessity.
Okay.
The scholars say it's posited out of necessity to make best sense of Matthew and Luke. Okay, if Q doesn't exist, how do you explain the common material? Go ahead. Explain
Okay,
it.
let me read this to you, and then we can go back because you're running away from the conscious edit.
I just proved to you it's more historical. I'm not running, bro. Don't shift the narrative. I just gave you a historical account.
Dean, you talked about a depiction of John, not whether the story of Zechariah being able to speak for 3 nights compared to the entire term of the pregnancy being historical. You went and showed how there's some sort of talks about John elsewhere compared to the Quran. That did not clear up Zechariah not being able to speak for 3 nights in your Quran being more historical. You jumped to something completely different. Now, let me read this to you. The Gospel of Q is not a physical document that was discovered. So let me hear you say it's a physical document again.
It is a document that we know exists because of the common material between Matthew and Luke. However, we don't have a physical copy today.
The existence is theoretical.
That's
correct.
Do majority of scholars accept it?
I don't care about that. The existence, dude. The existence is theoretical. Correct.
But I know the evidence. Okay. Give me evidence why it doesn't exist.
Apparently, Dean does not understand that a hypothetical theory about a document that has never been found and does not exist and has never been found to exist, somehow that means that it did exist and there's no evidence for me to prove that it doesn't exist. Let's go ahead and do a thought experiment. And since we're on this level of conversation with Dean, let's go ahead and talk to ChatGPT, our good friend. Give me a short answer. If I say a Gospel of Tevin existed in the 3rd century, but it's a hypothetical theory, does the Gospel of Tevin exist? No. If it's hypothetical, then the Gospel of Tevin doesn't actually exist. It's just an idea, not a real text. This is what I'm simply arguing to Dean.
Tell me what.
The scholars say it doesn't exist. I just read it to you.
Which one?
Where? Dude, what do you mean? It's a
just because it's hypothetical, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
Dean, please do not.
What are you talking about?
Please do not be dishonest with your audience, bro.
Life.
It's
just because something's hypothetical doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Dude, it's a consensus that the Gospel of Q is a hypothetical theory amongst scholarly research. Now let's go back to Luke and Zechariah in your Quran, and which one of the stories is actually more historical instead of dealing with a physical document that was never found, as we literally just talked about.
No, the scholars believe it exists. You're equivocating. Just because they say it's a hypothetical doesn't mean they don't believe it exists.
You claimed it was a physical document, but I just showed you that no physical document of Q was ever discovered. You don't have
to find it to know. Okay, let me put it this way, yeah?
Now, before he waffles anymore, we're going to get 2 scholars here that literally agree with my position, okay? So the first scholar is going to be Thomas Edgar. Some scholars assume that this document must have existed in one form or another. For example, G.N. Stanton says that we can be reasonably certain that Q existed as a written document, 650. Yet scholars such as Thomas Edgar vehemently deny its existence. Edgar states that Q has never been seen, nor is there any evidence that such a document ever existed. That is my position. That's what I'm telling Dean. For some reason, he has a problem with that. Let's keep going. Let's get one more scholar, Mark Goodacre, and it says 10 reasons to question Q. No one has ever seen Q. Current literature on Q abounds with editions of Q, investigations into its strata, studies on the communities that were behind it, and analysis of their theology. In such circumstances, it is worth allowing ourselves the sober reminder that there is no manuscript of Q in existence. No one has yet found even a fragment of Q. His point number 2. No one has ever heard of Q. No ancient author appears to have been aware of the existence of Q. And he gives 8 more reasons. The link to these documents will be in the description.
If you have a crime scene and you hypothesize, in this hypothetical scenario, when I see this crime scene, what's actually happened here is this guy's grabbed a hammer and hit him on the back of the head. That's a hypothetical situation that's occurred. Now, we can't see that tangibly.
It's
That doesn't
funny
mean
that
that it
you're
didn't. That doesn't mean that it didn't really happen.
Yeah,
Now, if
so
someone
you're-
if
so
someone
you're
comes
taking-
up, wait,
so
let me finish. Let me finish.
You're
let me
taking
finish.
the position
So,
and you're blowing it
so
out
it's
of
the same.
proportion.
So it's the same way. Just because you can't see it tangibly, it doesn't mean that that didn't really happen. In the same way, just because you can't see tangibly Q, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Now, John Kloppenberg, in his work, Q, the Earliest Gospel, he says that Q is posited out of logical necessity. Do you agree with John Kloppenberg when he says Q is posited out of logical necessity?
Okay, thank you. So if Q is posited out of logical necessity and you're willing to use Q, then I am positing out of logical necessity that Muhammad heard the wrong story and retold it.
Where's your evidence? My evidence of Q existing is the common
thank you.
material.
Thank you. Now evidence.
What's your
now,
evidence?
Hold on. Now all of a sudden evidence matters. So when I'm asking
Bert,
you for
Bert,
evidence,
okay.
hold on.
Live.
So notice how when I'm
I can
asking,
give you evidence why Q exists. You want to give it?
notice how when I'm asking you for evidence of Q, right?
Yeah.
You're not able to give it to me because the people who coined it, the scholars who coined it, it literally admits that it's a hypothetical theory. And they
out of necessity, that they pause out of necessity.
They reconstructed it for answers that they are looking for. Now, the problem that you're having, Dean, is that you are being, what is it called? A hypocrite when you're wanting to use Q and saying that it's a logical necessity. But then when I use my theory as a logical necessity, you're saying, oh, no, this doesn't work.
The difference is your one isn't actually out of necessity because you don't have good reasons to believe it.
What is illogical about this? My argument is that Muhammad must have heard these stories from somewhere. If it's possible for him to hear the wrong story and retell that wrong story, and he thinks that he's telling the right story, what is illogical about that? And he says, we don't really have evidence for my claim. Yes, I do. The fact that the wrong story is in the Quran and the right story is in Luke 1. If he retells this story that is found in Luke 1 that predates him by hundreds of years, then that means that my evidence is actually more stronger because I actually have evidence that a story that is very similar to what's being told in Luke 1 came out of his mouth, but it's different. What Dean doesn't understand is that he doesn't get to say, because I don't know who exactly Muhammad heard these stories from, therefore I get to just jump and say that it is from God. It doesn't work like that. Now, if you're sick and tired of all of these waffles Dean is making, let's go ahead and show him why it's not smart for him to use Q at all.
Okay, you quoted a scholar. I'm going to quote a scholar here. Scholars did not invent Q out of a fascination for mysterious or lost documents.
Oh my God.
Q is posited from logical necessity. So
congratulations.
So what the point is that scholars posit this because it best explains the data. Nothing else explains it better. So which hypothesis explains the data better between Matthew and Luke, the common material, rather than Q? What better explains it? Go ahead.
Brother, I'm not here to talk about a hypothetical theory. How many times do I have to explain that to you?
You have to, because I'm saying it's historical. And if it's
Brother,
historical, then I have justification.
I'm not about to go back and forth about someone else's hypothetical theory that you wouldn't even accept in accordance with Islam. If I go into Q right now, I could use Q to debunk Islam as well. And then you're just going to say he's consciously editing Q as well too. The problem that you're having is that you
nothing in Q contradicts with Islam.
Sure. Okay. So when Jesus is referred to as the Son of God and refers to the Father, I guess that doesn't.
That's fine.
I guess that doesn't.
That's fine.
Okay, so call Allah your Father.
Where in the Quran hadith?
Okay, call Allah your Father and call Jesus the Son of God right now.
Where in the Quran or the hadith
call
says
Allah
that
your Father and call Jesus the Son of God
because
right
you're strawmanning my position. My position is in the past it was allowed possibly for prophets to call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Father. There's no evidence in the Quran and Sunnah to conflict with that. Can you give me a source that conflicts with that from the Quran and Sunnah?
Yeah, nowhere does it ever say that your God allowed Jesus to ever be called the Son of Him.
Nowhere does it contradict it either.
It does, because it does. He says that he has no sons.
Show me.
Your Quran says that he has no sons.
Show your screen.
What do you mean?
Show me your screen.
Brother Dean, stop wasting my time.
I'll wait.
Man.
I want to see the source.
I'm not finna play games with you.
You made a claim. I want to see the source. Where does he say you can't call Allah your Father or Allah can't call you his son in any context where it's metaphorical?
You, does Allah have a son named Jesus?
It's possible in the past he was termed the Son of God in the same.
According to the Quran, does Allah have a father?
Let me finish my answer.
Life.
There is nothing in the Quran and Sunnah that contradicts the idea that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
Bro, you about to
called
make me
Jesus the
waste
Son
my
of God.
time. You about to make me waste my
In the
time
same
and get a
sense,
Quran verse,
let me
bro.
finish, brother. Let me finish.
Once again, here's a Muslim wasting time knowing what his Quran says, but trying to make something fit that just simply does not. Let's check these verses out real quick. And to warn those who say Allah has taken a son. And they said, the most efficient has taken himself a son. Holy is he. Nay, they are honored bondsmen. He beget none, nor was he begotten. Allah has not taken any child for himself, and nor is there any other God along with him.
In the same sense, in Psalm 2:7, where David is called the Son of God as the Davidic Messianic king. In that sense, there's nothing that contradicts Islam with that. No.
Does Allah have a son named Jesus? Is what I'm asking.
In a metaphorical sense, it's possible that he was termed that way.
I
Yeah.
didn't ask you if it's possible. Does he?
In the meaning of son, as in servant, in this metaphorical way, yes.
Okay. So, Al-Baqarah 116
Yep.
says, they say Allah has taken a son. Exalted is he, rather to him belongs whatever is in the heavens and the earths. All are devoutly obedient to him.
Okay. But so
does this?
is that
so,
all?
so,
Yeah,
so,
go ahead,
wait,
yeah.
So, what is it? So,
Thank
is
you.
he
Yeah.
not saying in that verse that he doesn't have a son?
Okay. They say Allah has offspring. Who's they?
Brother, it doesn't matter. Does Allah have
Who's
a son?
they? Yes, it does matter.
Does your
Who's
God have?
they?
Does your God have a son
Who's
named?
they?
Does your God
Here.
have a son named Jesus?
We use Ibn Kathir here. I'll help you out here.
Lord
We can.
have
We,
mercy.
Ibn Kathir can help you out. Okay. They say Allah has offspring. Indeed, you have brought forth a terrible evil thing, whereby the heavens and earth are almost torn, that they ascribe a son to most gracious, but not suitable for him, that Allah should beget a son. There is none in the heavens and earth, but comes unto the most gracious as a servant.
there.
Verily,
But
he,
it is
verily
not
he knows
suitable.
each one of them and has consulted them a full count.
But it is not suitable.
So-
But it is not
Yeah.
suitable that the
Yes.
most gracious that he should beget a son.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
does he have a son, a begotten son named
We're,
Jesus?
we're gonna get there.
Does
okay?
he have a begotten son
We're gonna-
named Jesus?
brother,
According to the
brother,
biblical
brother,
authors, he does.
we're getting there. We need to read. I'm giving you the context before
This is
I give you the
embarrassing.
response. The context for this verse, as reported from this hadith, the son of Adam has denied me. That is not his right. He has insulted me, and that is not his right. As for the denial of me, he claimed that I'm unable to bring him back as he used to be. As for insulting me, he claimed that I have a son. All praise is due to me. It is unbefitting that I should have a wife or a son. Is this in the sense of a?
Doesn't matter in a sense.
Is that yes? It doesn't matter
Okay,
because
so
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
is Jesus metaphorically the son of
in
God?
this yes,
the son
as
of
I'm
Allah?
gonna get to now.
No,
Every
according to
single time.
Islam, is
Yes,
Jesus
in
metaphorically
the
the
past,
son of Allah?
yes, brother.
No, not in the
I'm
past.
giving you the response.
It doesn't just stop.
In the meaning of son of God, if you mean in the servant sense, yes, that's fine.
Is Jesus metaphorically the begotten son of Allah, bro?
In this
According to the
metaphorical
biblical
sense of
authors.
servitude, yes, that's fine.
Yes. No, Quranically.
Yes.
So yes,
Yes,
Quranically.
Quran, brother. What do you mean by begotten son of God when you say it? Tell me.
Wow, Quranically, Jesus is the begotten, metaphorically the begotten son
Yeah,
of
the
Allah.
same way that David is the begotten son of God in the metaphorical way. Yeah.
Allah. I'm talking about Allah. We're not talking about the Bible right now. Quranic theology.
Yeah, God. Yeah, Quranically, there's no issue in saying that Allah has a metaphorical son.
No, I
if
don't.
you
I don't.
intend
I
that
don't. I don't
with
care
that.
about. There's no issue with saying is he, because the Bible says clearly he is. I don't.
What do you
is
mean by
he?
what do you mean by begotten?
I mean what you mean. Metaphorically begotten.
Servitude, yes, servitude. That's fine.
Not
yeah.
servitude. Metaphorically begotten son.
Yeah.
You see how you don't know? So let's stop
brother,
playing around
brother,
with you.
You're
So
doing
let's-
this game of
let's-
no.
Let's stop
brother,
playing
you're
with
doing
Q. Let's
life,
stop playing
you're
with
doing-
Q
you're
because you
doing
don't
this
even
game.
agree with Q.
Life, you're doing this game.
You don't even
of-
agree with Q.
Life, you're doing this game of bait and switch. I told you from the beginning, servitude,
bait and
servitude,
switch?
servitude, servitude.
You wanted to talk
then,
about
then
Q.
you ignore the fact that I said servitude, and then you said, "Oh, yeah, begotten."
You
son
know
in
I'm not
this way.
talking about servitude.
No, what?
talking
No,
about
I
him
don't.
being his
That's
actual
why I was
son.
asking you.
I'm talking
Oh my
about him
God.
being his actual son.
Okay, Is other people besides Jesus called the begotten Son of God?
That's
Yes or no?
irrelevant to the point.
Yes, because that shows that you can be begotten in a metaphorical way.
Stop trying to run. No, stop trying to run off. According to the Bible,
I'm not trying to run off. When you say begotten Son, that's ambiguous.
Stop trying to run
because
off.
other people in the
Jesus is
Bible besides Jesus are called the begotten Son of God.
Stop trying to run off. You know the Bible teaches that Jesus is the only begotten Son. Stop running. Second
you
of all,
mean it
your
in
God.
your-
Second
if
of
you
all,
mean it in
your
your
God
Christian
doesn't have.
Trinitarian way,
Second of
no.
all, your God does not have a metaphorically begotten Son named Jesus. So the fact that you even said that is insane, and your viewers should be fearing you right now.
No, there's no issue. There's no issue
let's
if you
go
mean it in
back.
terms of servitude. There's no issue.
Well, this will be up, and we'll see if there's no issue later. Luke
course
is
there's none.
okay. So let's go back to
The same way people in the Bible are called the begotten Son of God, and it's metaphorical. Yeah.
Sure,
Anyways, go ahead.
sure, Dean, sure. So we just found out you really don't actually respect Q. You just want to use it at your leisure. When Q cooks you don't want to use it. And you have to justify and
almost
rub,
all the scholars
you gotta rub shoulders.
Life. Ibn
gotta rub-
Taymiyyah,
you gotta
Imam
rub shoulders with
al-Ghazali,
Q a little
Imam
bit.
al-Tufi, Ibn Kathir, they all agree with me that it was possible in the past to be used.
Am I asking you about something that was possibly able to be used in the past?
I'm telling you the meaning. I'm telling you the meaning matches the terms.
Am I asking you
Brother,
about something that was possibly be able to be used in the past, or
if
am
you're
I asking does your God have?
if your term means what I'm saying,
no, he isn't just metaphorically. I'm giving your position, what you're trying to do. He isn't metaphorically the begotten Son of Allah.
Literal, then no,
and
that's
then
not
no
possible.
longer metaphorically the begotten Son of Allah anymore.
Say it one more time.
He doesn't stop being, even from your terms, metaphorically the begotten Son of Allah. He doesn't stop being that.
No, agreed. It just the title stopped being used.
So is Jesus so is Jesus still the metaphorical begotten Son of Allah?
And what do you mean by that?
All right, Dean.
All right.
So Luke was read.
Oh, no. You can stay there for a second. I'm gonna give you a Bible verse right now.
Bro, yeah. All right, I'm gone, bro.
There you have it. He kicked me. So if y'all want to watch that full video, bro, the link will be in the description and in the comments. But I kid you not, these Muslims will twist, turn, bend, fold, crumple up, and fit Islam in wherever it can fit, just so that religion can be true. They don't want to let Muhammad be a false prophet, so they make up everything. Now, all of a sudden, Jesus can be the metaphorical begotten Son of Allah. And then when he started to question him on that, what happened? He started to play games. He started to forget about what he's saying. He started to not know what he meant when he said what he said. He started to switch and all these hurdles. You see, he was throwing stuff out there, then pulling it back, throwing it out there, then pulling it back. I couldn't get anywhere real with the conversation because Dean wants to act like he's not saying what he's saying. Servitude and sonship are two different things. I know a son can be a servant, but he's still a son. So does your God have a metaphorical begotten son who's a servant by the name of Jesus? We couldn't even get that far because Dean wanted to lie so much while at the same time not just admitting, you know what, yeah, you're right. Q doesn't even align with the Quran, so let me stop using Q. These guys will use anything, and I find it funny how they're using a hypothetical theory where the document has never been found to ever have existed, doesn't exist, and these guys want to go with that other than the Gospels. My goodness, bro. This religion is so false. I can't even believe some of the things that they do in order to try to make Islam true. Stay away from Islam. I gotta rent it.